Welcome, folks. I am JABY KOAY, joined by ACHARA KIRK.
What's up?
We are continuing on with Moon Knight Season 1, Episode 5, Asylum. Thanks so much for joining us. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, and vote this up to let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching, assuming you're watching this on YouTube. If you are, you're going to see a cut-down version of our reaction because we're only allowed to show you a limited amount of picture-in-picture. However, if you want to watch the whole episode with us, the whole show, head over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/JABYKOAY, where you can watch the whole series with us, uncut, uninterrupted, without any of the little cut-down stuff. But you will need your own Disney Plus subscription so you can open up the show in an adjacent window to our reaction, and it's like you're watching it with two of your favorite pals from the internet. All right, let's jump into this. Here we go.
Calm down, Mark. Mark, I didn't shoot you. Your mind is violently vacillating between sense and nonsense.
Oh.
You told me that you were in a place that was oddly reminiscent of this office, except that it was in Egypt, right? And that you were with a rhinoceros and hippopotamus. You're right. You're right.
It sounds crazy.
Now, what do you think? Do you think that is sense or nonsense?
Sense.
Nonsense. The struggling mind will often build places to seek shelter for different aspects of the self from our most traumatic memories. Somebody else will see a maze or a library. A psych ward? It could be.
God, I love Ethan Hawke's acting so much.
You were talking to me about a boy? You think you could tell me about that little boy?
They must pay you a lot of money in this place.
You know
You're
what?
really good. I tell you what, I feel like $1 million. Never felt so good. I'm gonna see myself.
Watch out. Watch out.
Oh man! Wow, these meds are really amazing.
I'm afraid you're actually quite dead.
I'm sorry, what? I'm dead, we're dead?
Yes.
Oh, they're going through the...
Yes, Mark, I think she's right. I think
What's it called?
we died.
The reeds.
Yeah, the reeds. Thank you.
It's been a minute since we've had a soul pass through here. Excuse me.
She's cute.
Welcome to the realm of the Duat.
Duat, goddess of women and children. She's guiding us through our journey to the afterlife.
This is the afterlife?
Surprised how many intersectional planes of untethered consciousness exist. Like the ancestral plane.
Oh.
I do actually have cards for all this, if you just wait.
What's in the other sarcophagus?
We all know.
I know, but I want to see it. Come on. Come on.
Why would we imagine this realm to be a psychiatric hospital?
Because we're insane.
The visual effects on that hippos.
I know.
Amazing.
It's amazing. I love the little ear twitches.
Prove it to you. So, like, right through these doors, for example, we go through here, there's gonna be a bunch of patients, and there's Crawley, probably about to yell, bingo!
Whoa! That's crazy.
We're sailing to our rooms, to the field of reeds, right, Toetic?
Ah, so he's the smart one.
Weighing our hearts on the scales of justice.
If the scales balance, then a soul is permitted to pass into the field of reed.
If they don't balance,
You get thrown overboard. The dead will drag you down into the Duat, frozen in sand.
But they don't have all the hearts. They're missing one.
kill the hippo, steal the boat.
Fellas?
Oh. It was like in the beginning when Hera was trying to weigh
Right.
them.
They aren't full. Get in there and show each other the truth. Balance your scales before we arrive at the field of reeds, or your souls will be destroyed.
Or we can do what she says and, like, help each other uncover whatever it is that we're hiding, apparently.
Yes.
I don't know about you, but my memories are a frickin' mess. Yeah, mine too.
This is very seamless. The dual Oscar Isaacs.
Yeah.
It's very, very well done.
Do you hear that?
This is like very curious.
Ooh.
Creepy calf filled with dead bodies.
Oh. Those are all the people he's killed.
Whose room this is? Yours. Funny.
They all stay with him, I guess.
It's very unsettling.
They were criminals, murderers. The healing ended up being a curse.
Mark, the scales are slowing down. It's working.
Now what do we do? Do you go next, or?
Who's that?
Who? Oh.
Mark. Why is there a child? Hold on there. Wait a moment. Wait a moment.
Who is he? Is he like baby Mark?
Come on, now wait, Steven!
Or
Mom?
He drew the fish with only one fin.
Mark, be nice to your little brother.
it's like his little fish.
Keep an eye on your brother, okay?
Laters, gators.
In a while, crocodile.
What's that saying again?
Yeah.
Can you hear that, Dr. Grant? I sure do, Rosa. Sounds to me like danger.
Dr. Grant.
Mom said not to when it's raining. It'll be fine. Don't be a baby.
So he feels responsible for his brother's death, I
Yeah,
guess.
probably. Oh. What does that mean? Like,
It's Konchu,
was
right?
Konchu connected in some way? Or is it just like his mind making sense of a bunch of things?
Don't go any further! The water's rising way too fast! You've got to get out of here! Boys!
Oh my god.
We have to leave now! Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh my god.
This is all your fault! This is all your fault!
Stop!
Wendy? Wendy, come on, please. We're just about to blow out the candles
Oh,
now.
weird. That is trippy.
Your mother's not feeling well, Mark. We'll do it just you and I this year. Okay?
Steven! Steven!
It's really sad.
I should have known you would do something like this.
What?
I cannot lose another son. Please.
Enough, Steven!
Whoa.
Off me!
Oh, this is where he killed, what's her name's
Yeah.
dad?
Or watched him die.
Oh, right. Sorry. Excuse me.
Is that Dr. Ofuli, Layla's dad?
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
Do you want death? Or do you want life? You are a worthy candidate to serve me during this time.
There's gonna be 3 on there? Oh, it's still 2.
2.
Do you swear to protect the travelers of the night and bring my vengeance to those who would do them harm?
I wonder if the bones...
Have we done it? Have we balanced them?
Almost. I wonder if the bones represent the fact that Konchu put him on this path.
Oh, right. Yeah.
As my moon knight.
Baboons?
What? Baboons?
Can you send word to Layla? Please help us free Konchu.
Cyrus is not going to like this, but his gate is the only path back.
Hold on.
Back at the house, there was that bedroom that you didn't want me to go into.
Yes, you have to go in.
If Layla dies, that's on your head. I won't do it! You can't make me!
You've been peering inward, looking deeply into all of the moments.
He's gonna give him a glass cup?
I know.
That's quite surprising. If he's really in the psych ward.
I thought there's a lot of dangerous objects in that room.
Oh, certainly, yeah.
There's only one way to know. You're gonna have to open up to Steve. There can be no progress without understanding. Can you do that?
God, I can't tell if he's like...
I
How many
know.
levels he's being manipulated on.
This is my room. I remember some things, but I don't remember this.
It's not Mom. It's not my mom.
Oh, is he gonna push his mom down the stairs?
It's not my mom.
Open this door!
No, it can't be because he left the home as a
Yeah.
grown-up.
Oh, this was when it first happened. The scales.
Scales, yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah.
Stephen Grant has no fear.
Oh, dude, you're not real.
You're gonna learn.
to listen.
I need to see that. You're not meant to see that. That's the whole point of you. Dad called me after all these years about her shiva, and I couldn't do it. Let me out, let me out, let me out, let me out, let me out! Let me out, let me out!
Oh!
It's so strange. A little haircut, little silly tash there.
After your mother passed.
That's not true.
Would you like to speak to your mother?
My mother's dead.
Oh, gotcha.
Not giving me that satisfaction.
This is brutal.
Yeah. Well, inner work tends to be brutal.
What? Where am I? Bloody hell, what?
Oh, what a transition. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, Mum. Hey, you alright? Yeah, would you believe it? I am totally lost again. I don't know where I am. What an absolute muppet.
That was some pretty powerful work. You just
Yeah.
All those horrible things that she said to you, she was wrong. It wasn't your fault. I shouldn't have brought him in that cave. I shouldn't have brought him in the cave. Hey, you were just a child.
Oh.
Hey, did you feel that? I think we just stopped.
Is that the power of healing?
The gates. The gates of Osiris. Come on, hurry.
The unbalanced souls of the Duat now must claim yours.
No! Oh no.
Mark, you don't look very friendly.
Haha.
Watch out, watch out!
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Get back inside. Get back inside.
Why get back inside?
To get the third one. Then bounce
Well, yeah.
out.
Okay. Fine.
What if I'm you? That means I've got this too.
That's right. You can do it, Steven. Whoa.
I prefer cricket.
Oh no 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 no! Who are, no!
Wait! Steven! Run! Wait! Run! She's coming! Keep the stop the boat! Stop the boat! Wait! Wait!
Oh shit. Whoa.
Stop the boat! Stop the boat!
The scale's balanced.
The scales are balanced.
Wait, what? Why?
Because he reconciled his two personalities, I guess, and then he no longer needed Steven to cope, I suppose, because
Oh,
he faced his past.
Don't end here. Oh. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, wow. That was intense.
You know what? I'm confused about something though. While we're waiting for see if there's any post credits, he said that he created Steven in an effort to escape his reality, basically, right?
Yeah,
with his
yeah.
mom. So he told him when they were back at the asylum, he said, "You got to live the fantasy that your mom was loving and she's still alive."
Yeah.
But Steven literally came to right before his mom beat him.
I just assumed that as soon as it started to get hairy, or his mom came and was gonna beat him, then he turned back into Mark. you know.
This is okay. That makes. I'm sorry. I'm buying into that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Or he just blocked it out somehow.
This was such an emotional roller coaster that I wasn't expecting. Because of the way the last episode ended, I was thinking, oh, we're going to go on the adventure with the hippo.
Yeah, like...
And it's going to be this sort of goofy...
kooky and quirky.
Marvel-esque thing. I wasn't prepared for this, like, deep dive into this cuddling with your child self therapy session.
It's not even... Well, yeah, it is a little bit of that, but it's like... You know, a lot of the time when you're doing deep healing work, you know, they say you have to go and confront your shadow and like meet your shadow, basically.
No post-credit. No
post-credit scenes. I feel like in a way this was it. You know, instead of trying to run away from the deepest, darkest moments in your life, which a lot of the time that's what we're doing, right? Because we don't want to face it because it hurts too much, because it's too scary, because it's too painful.
Trauma, yeah.
It's trauma.
Yeah.
But sometimes the only way to get out is to go through.
To go deeper, yeah.
Yeah, so that's exactly what he was doing. In order to balance the scales, he had to go back and relive all of these memories and share them with Steven, who had absolutely no idea that any of this happened, and just kind of integrate into one personality, I suppose.
I'm gonna miss Steven.
I know. Although a part of me, when he fell out, I was like, well, he made Steven before. Maybe he could make him again.
Maybe.
Because he's too cool.
Maybe it would be too complicated to have all three personalities floating at once, and so he's got one left. I suppose the idea with the last episode, but
perhaps, but it doesn't really, like, this whole episode we're going, oh, maybe he has to discover the third personality to, you know, balance the scale and all that, and they didn't do that, so that doesn't really make sense in a way if they're not going to use the third personality for this. But maybe they have a better idea, and maybe they're going to introduce him in the last episode, so we have something to look forward to in season 2.
Well, we still don't know what exactly is real. We're not exactly sure what is comprised of, like, real life, if he is just a body that's been shot, or like, it's very layered with a lot of misdirection and confusion on purpose, and I like how it's done. It's very, very well done, because it's got you asking so many questions. They took what you experience in Fight Club and multiplied it by a factor of like 10. It's crazy. Just the emotional journey to go on. Oh God, it's like, wow, that hit me pretty hard, actually. Like, I can't think of another Marvel thing that, like, made me feel so uncomfortable like that. I'm like, jeez.
The only one I can think of which made me feel really, really emotional was WandaVision. But that was in a different way.
Yeah.
Because that was dealing with loss, and then this one is dealing more with trauma.
Indirectly, it's dealing with loss. I mean, because he's dealing with the loss of his brother.
Right,
the loss of his brother. Thereafter, yeah.
Exactly, and the loss of the loving mother. Who,
right.
I was just so frustrated with her. Like, I understand.
Oh, that's
her
a very
pain.
real thing, though. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
My mom wasn't like that. It's just that I come from a line of trauma. And so I have had to deal with that, uncovering that. It's like, wow. Well, like, what they showed there is just eerily real. That's the thing about it. It's like, oh gosh, it's uncomfortably real. You know, given how the episodes were playing out leading up to this, I didn't think Disney would go there. They still were shying away from it for a bit. Like, in certain areas, they were still, like, kind of protecting the children. Like, they didn't show the beating. They didn't show you quite as much. They were, like, really, like, pushing that envelope of what I would consider the PG-13 realm, because it's not quite R. They're dealing with some heavy topics, though. You know, like, ever since the debacle with 13 Reasons Why, you know, shows and streaming platforms have really shied away from that topic of what he was dealing with right before Konchu came into his life.
That was actually surprising that they did go there. I was like, oh.
And the abusive mom, it was so real that it made me so uncomfortable. I'm repeating myself at this point. I'm so sorry. It's just that, like, I'm shocked at how far they went, and I'm shocked at how well it was done. And then that scene in the street when he, like, threw his yarmulke to the ground and just, he was falling apart. It was such a real and vulnerable cry. It's like, that's an ugly dude cry. Or a dude's ugly cry, I should say.
Yeah.
I wish they didn't cut. That was my only problem with that moment, was I wish they didn't cut, because he did something remarkable there, which is he was, like, just completely unloading, and he's like, I was just a kid. And then he transitions into Steven. He comes out of it and it's like he's just like a little bit confused, like, oh my gosh, I don't know where I'm at. And I wish they just let it go all the way through that, because I know that's what he did. Like, you know that he rehearsed the shit out of that on his own, and that's the performance he gave, and then they cut it up going to the reverses of the present day Marc and Steven, right?
Right.
And I wish they didn't do that, because it kind of cut into his performance, which I thought was brilliant.
Yeah.
It was just so real.
Well, and I think that's the thing too, is understanding the disorder, right? Which is he has these different personalities in order to help him cope with this major trauma that happened to him. And you really get to see that, and you get to kind of see the origin story of Steven, I guess, and then you're like, oh, okay, I understand now why this happened, and it makes sense. And I thought they handled it really, really well.
Yeah. Also, Ethan Hawke's acting was pretty darn good. Like, I really like watching him. I mean, like the classic saying, I could watch him read a phone book and I'd be fascinated, because I think his acting is so good.
Yeah, he really is good, and it is selling that kind of idea that you mentioned earlier, which is like, wait, what's real? What's really going on? Has this just been happening in his head the whole time? And this story of Moon Knight that we've been following along is actually part of like Mark's searching inward and healing himself, or is this just some kind of side thing that's happening in his head as he's dying? Like, what's going on?
I mean, in this sort of Jacob's Ladder-esque situation that Mark/Steven is trapped in, anything could happen. I mean, the whole thing could just be an illusion happening inside of his mind as he's dying, right?
Yeah.
As he's trying to find his way to breathing again. It could all just be a figment of his imagination as he's trying to find his way out. As he's working out his inner demons and whatnot, you know?
Yeah. That was interesting as well, what you pointed out, that connection between that moment when Steven was following the kids to the cave and then he saw the
Konchu bones.
The bones there.
Yeah.
And this notion that perhaps
Konchu put him on that path.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That it was destined in some way, and that he was being manipulated, and that being kind of the theme of this episode as well, where, you know, Steven's going, no, he manipulated you, and then the doctor manipulating him as well, maybe, or even Arthur Harrow manipulating him from the outside. I've always said that I feel like maybe there's some sort of information that he's trying to uncover here using the ruse of, you know, like healing in his mind and everything. But
that's what I thought.
Who knows?
Yeah, that was my initial thought, but seeing the bones of Konchu really indicates that he's been laying the groundwork for Steven or Mark to come into his life.
What if it was him that killed his brother?
To set him on the path? Yeah, I mean,
to become, because I don't think if he hadn't lost his little brother, and if he hadn't had, you know, a mother who blamed him for being a killer, then perhaps he wouldn't have taken the path that he did.
No, that's true. I agree with you. And so it's entirely possible. That was my thought, that he basically took his brother's life in order to put him on that path so that they can unite at some point, so that Konchu could have his soul and turn him into Moon Knight.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if he finds out, like, how crushing that would be. Right. Like, you did this.
How did you feel about the actors they chose to portray young Oscar Isaac? The little boy and then the teenager who left home. I don't know what Oscar Isaac actually looked like as a kid. So when I looked at them, I didn't immediately see Oscar Isaac, like a youthful Oscar Isaac. I just saw...
It's funny because I thought the younger kid was Oscar Isaac.
I thought that too, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one who died.
The one who died.
Yeah.
It's always going to be difficult finding a young actor that looks exactly like the older one. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't, especially when you're someone who's as unique looking as Oscar Isaac, I think. I don't think there's too many people that I've seen where, or especially young kids where I'm like, that kid looks like a young Oscar Isaac.
Sure.
Because I think he's got a very distinctive look. So, and also, who knows, maybe it was just like, well, these kids are able to do the acting really well, and they kind of look like him. So, I mean, I had to suspend my disbelief as well and just be like, okay, this is what they're saying, so I'll buy into it for the sake of the story.
I think the last thing I'd like to close this out on is just talking about, two things. I thought that it was very creative in the way that it was going about uncovering the trauma and whatnot and the memories, because it's a really cool idea to be able to explore the crevices of your memories, like rooms in a psych ward or in a building. It's like to be able to just go from room to room and sort of uncover the pain, and like, I mean, it's not fun, but it's just like a creative idea to be able to do all that, just little pockets of where places with these ideas or feelings are kept in an effort to tuck it away and not deal with it, and then you got to go in that room and deal with it. Like, I think that's just a really, really cool thing. And then the going up the stairs, and then going through a journey of memories up the stairs. I thought all that was really cool.
Well, and also just the way that they shot it, like the design and everything, you know, because in a situation like this, it's like, okay, well, how do we represent the just kind of the topsy-turvy nature of what it might be like to be inside a mind, and how things can change really quickly, like when you're in a dream, you know? It doesn't really make sense. You could open the door and you're in one place, and you suddenly open the door and you're like, oh, I'm in this other place, and that's totally fine because I'm in a dream. So like they perfectly like encapsulated that in the episode.
I forgot who pointed it out, and I think it was in a comment. Someone had pointed out the idea that because the ceiling lamps were swaying, maybe they're on a boat. That comment turned out to be right.
Yeah.
So the last thing I wanted to mention was the visual effects.
Yeah.
I thought the visual effects were pretty darn good. I mean, there was a lot of movement between Marc and Steven. Very, very seamless. There were some instances where there was like this sort of weird smeary effect. I wasn't sure what that was about, if that was like deliberate as a means to say like this is a dream state.
Right.
But I thought that it was just really, really well done, where it genuinely, at most of the time, felt like two people in a room. And it gets even more complex when you have Steven and Marc looking at the young Steven/Marc who's crying in the middle of the road. I was a little bit confused as to why there was no one else on the street, but that's beside the point. I just thought the visual effects on all of that stuff looked, and then the hippo, of course, on top of that, all of that looked fantastic. I thought that the money was well spent here to really bring these ideas to life. So just like, I thought they did a fantastic job with this episode.
Yeah.
So anyways, you guys, thanks so much for hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed that. If you're watching this on Patreon, thanks so much for supporting us here. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, and vote this up. I'm JABY KOAY. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.